Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Osa from Rockland's News. Thank you for joining us today. I know you're very busy and you have a company that you need to run or an organization that you need to run or many just different things that you got to take care of on a day-to-day basis. So we're going to get right into it. You're here to learn more about rocklandnews.com. Sean, who's with us today, likely reached
Hello.
out to you. Sean, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good.
All right, cool. Likely reached out to you and just told you a little bit about this meeting. We do this on a quarterly basis just to give our advertisers information about how the website is doing, and that's rocklandnews.com. I'm going to share those stats with you today. And if you have any follow-up questions, and this recording we're going to send out to everyone, but if you have any specific follow-up questions, we'll pause the recording and we'll have one-on-one conversations. We're also going to have some follow-up with some of you if you'd like to advertise on Rockland News past your free trial period. We are going into a very interesting news cycle, specifically with, well, there's a lot of campaigns happening on the political end of things, as well as a lot of very important stories across Rockland County. Some examples being the High Tor Animal Shelter, as well as the Rockland Community College, the latest on Rockland Community College's budget deficit. So a lot of different avenues for news and advertising. Getting into the statistics here, we had a good quarter, January 1st to April 30th. We had, I'd say it's groundbreaking thus far, but we're not done yet. 140,000 visitors to the website. And we track that on a monthly basis, a 30-day monthly basis. So in other words, the same user, if that person comes back several times, that might factor in here. But generally, you have about 140,000 users over the course of 3 months with a total page view count of approximately, now this says 181,000. It's more like 161,000 because some click-throughs on some of the pages, they might go to a form or a call to action. So we don't like to factor those in. And you see that on the site, we get anywhere from a few thousand visitors to sometimes, if there's a heavy news cycle, over 10,000 visitors in one day, usually 5 for a larger story. And the traffic comes from everywhere. Direct traffic is when people literally just type in rocklandsnews.com into the browser. So you see that 79,000 of those people came specifically just by typing it into the browser. We're very, very, very heavy on social. As I've mentioned before, we are administrators for the top 24 Facebook groups across Rockland County. So it's very easy for us to post things, feature things, put a banner up at the top about various things related on Rockland News in that particular community. Town of Ramapo, North Rockland community, Clarkstown community, things like that. And also just flat out search. When people are searching for news, they can just look for certain things and they'll find an article about something that we're posting on there. So it's a pretty healthy mix of different things that allows us to diversify and ultimately come up with some new products and services. And one of them I'm going to talk with you about at the end of this presentation. Um, and I'll just talk with you a little bit about the website itself. Let's head over to rocklandnews.com. This is our latest edition right here. We are a digital-only publication, and the reason for that is I do firmly believe that print is not as necessary as it needed to be in the past. There are some exceptions to that rule, but for us to be digital only and being able to deploy all the news items on your iPhone, iPad, uh, laptop, desktop. It's very easy for people to tune in on the news, either through the website or through Google News and otherwise. So that's the home page. In terms of the navigation, we keep it nice and clean. So up at the top, you can go to your particular town. Nice little feature. We also have a page for each of the individual villages within Rockland County. So for instance, if there's something in Suffern, You just click on Suffern, and then there's information about that particular village within. The items within a village drill upwards into the overall town, and you're going to see that momentarily. All right, so the town of Orangetown, all of that information from, say, for instance, Pearl River, I mean, in this case, this was a Rockland Business Association event, St. Thomas Aquinas College, and they all send us news. And then as far as like the simple navigation underneath, if you want to see what's happening exactly today, we get our news in collaboration with our partners over at WRCR Radio. We also host their website. The morning news is briefed on WRCR Radio, and it also aggregates directly onto our page, and there's sponsorship options for the Today News. Also local, if you wanted to drill into your particular community, you have that as an option. Right now we're covering the High Tor Animal Care Shelter news. There's a business section. If you're a business to business, let's say, for instance, an accountant or an attorney handling commercial, things of that nature, commercial real estate, things of that, you can advertise in the business section. I'm very passionate about the entertainment section. We do run a concert every year. It's called Stony Music Fest. So the entertainment section is very near and dear, and I like to create those happy vibes. It's not just about trying to grab eyeballs to look at, terrible news, because there is some of that that has to be reported, but also some enjoyable things as well. And we have fun with it, quite frankly. The county level, we get information from Rockland County on a daily basis. So that information is available there, including an interview recently with County Executive Ed Day. We have state issues that are added. And on the unfortunate side of the coin, again, we also do have obituaries for those that are recently departed. And there are admittedly some areas where, say, for instance, a funeral home or a floral decorating company or a symmetrical service can also provide their information on these pages, with respect, of course. The way that advertising generally occurs on our site, we like to keep it elegant, and I'll say this for the record, I'm kind of like, I don't want to call myself an Apple or technology devotee exactly, but I do appreciate elegant design, as you have seen in some of these past recordings. So we try to keep the advertising as inobtrusive as possible so that the story leads, and I think that adds to the readability of the publication. So we've kept it nice and clean and simple. And now we're at a place where I believe that we can add on advertisers, such as yourself, if you're on the free plan, to be able to advertise in one of 3 different locations. Here are some of those placements. The standard is a business card size ad that shows up on the sidebar of the site. There's also an option for a vertical or a larger advertisement a little further down. And there's also a place where you can advertise up at the top. It's a horizontal advertisement. That's usually reserved for organizations and such that really want to pass the word along. But in every case, we look to make it as useful as possible for the given advertisers. And I'll bring up some stats real quick just to show you. I'm just going to just literally scroll through very quickly on some of our advertising reach, if you will. And I'm just going to zoom in, and I don't want to show any particular advertisers specifically, but I want to make sure that you understand what sort of scope that we have to be able to advertise out your brand. Okay, so I kept the names of the advertisers on the side, except for our friends at the Workforce Development Board of Rockland County, as well as the Rockland Teacher Center Institute. Thank you guys for being consistent advertisers with Rockland News. So this is the number of times that ads get shown on I would say, an annual basis when you see up at the top, because these guys right here have been with us for a considerable amount of time. And the view of those advertisements varies and you can see some of them are in the 400s, some of them are in the 6,000s, some of them are in the 10,000s. But we produce results now, bottom line. So if you want the best visibility, in my opinion, I'm a little bit partial to this, but if you want the best visibility for the best value possible, we can show really serious results for any brand that's out there these days in Rockland County, to be very clear. Let's keep on moving forward. So there are ad placements. There are sizings on this kit, and Sean will be sending this over after the presentation. So you have a business card, vertical, and horizontal premium banner. Pricing varies, and it really comes down to this. This is very simple pricing. First of all, it is month to month. You do not have to worry about a long-term contract on anything. Try it before you go more aggressive with your advertising. We've done it for years. So if you just want a standard business card size advertisement in the village where you have your retail establishment and you want to get the word out, could be anything from smoothies to let's say, for instance, coffee or a restaurant, $99 in the village of your choice. If you want to advertise in all of the villages within a particular town, and let's just go back over to there momentarily just so I could show you. Go to Rockland News. Look on the right-hand side and zoom back out. All of the towns within a given, all of the villages within a given town, town of Clarkstown, town of Haverstraw, town of Orangetown. It's a simple $399 per town if you're doing the business card size. We bump it up for the vertical banner because it's a lot more real estate. That's $599 per town. And if you wanted to advertise site-wide on Rockland News, in other words, at the very, very top, I'm just going to go over here. If you wanted to have your advertisement right here for industrial level companies, organizations, we charge $5,000, $4,995, pretty much the same thing. So all of that is included in our media kit. You have a choice of over 45 different locations, and we can also post you in locations such as the Today section, the business section, entertainment section. And to note, we are also, and this is how we started our company, we were web developers and we still are, but we own rocklandwebdesign.com as well. So we have an entire media division that can help you to craft the best advertisements for your company, organization, or cause. Sean is on the team with us. So that includes text, graphics, video. We could do promo videos for you for a very reasonable cost. And we also can help you with your overall reach with those Facebook community groups. So there's a lot of different options. I'll round it out by saying that there's, like I said, that there's no long-term commitments, but whatever work that we do for you, you can obviously take into various avenues, not just Rockland News, but also in other locations that you designate online. You have your own social media and Google search properties, so you can take the material that we put together and we provide to you throughout the course of your campaigns. There is one other thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm pretty proud of this. Rockland News also just launched its first newsletter. And I'd been hearing this for years. It's like, you got to do a newsletter and everything like that. And I'm kind of anti-email. So I wanted to make sure that I did it right so that we weren't putting information in people's inboxes that they didn't need or they didn't expect to get in their inbox. So I think we did it right. And I'm going to show you real quick what that newsletter looks like. The first one that we did. One moment, please. And there it is. So Rockland News, the week in review. And we had a great click-through rate on our first try, 3.3% of 5,501 individuals that received the newsletter delivered, and 10.8% of them opened the newsletter. So that's over 500 people. That's not them just, randomly noticing it in the inbox. So that is a great starting point for an ongoing newsletter. And I'm going to show you what that newsletter looks like right now. And there it is. This is what showed up in people's inboxes. And we only did like about 7 or 8 stories, the most vital ones that we collected. We do about 30 or 40 stories a week at this point. So simple, to the point, mobile and desktop friendly. And we have an advertisement up top, again, from, in this case, the Rockland Teacher Center. And we thank them for being a sponsor of our first inaugural newsletter. So there's a lot that can be done through advertising on rocklandnews.com. There's a lot of options. Sean is going to be assisting in gathering that information for you. You can try it out if you haven't yet. For 14 days flat, you can try it out for free, and then we can follow up with you. It's very easy to onboard. So Sean is going to work with you in that process. And for those of you that have been on the free plan, we are sunsetting the free plan because, in the words of Mark Zuckerberg, first you got to make it cool, and then you got to get down to business. So that's what we're going to do. We do hope that for those that have been on the free plan for the last year, we hope that you'll continue to join us. You see the results in front of you. So other than that, we'll do these quarterly to report on the results. And as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. You could go to rocklandweb.com and click on the contact form to call us, to contact us. And of course, you could always call us at 845-877-7333, extension number 2 for news. That's all for now. And thanks for joining us today.